For a beginner, if we're taking a year in the gym, what movement patterns should they master before they get to move on to an intermediate, even if if they're at their year mark, but they're not quite ready or they don't know?
Let me just cover that first point before we look at those progressions. It takes a really long time to condition the non muscular structures to regular loading. That's bone, that's tendon, that's ligament. There's the neuromuscular system to know what to turn on and use and what to turn off or what to stabilize. Those adaptations take a really long time. That's not done in a few weeks. Muscular adaptations do, after the first 12 or so weeks, do run pretty quickly. So you do improve strength from a muscle neuromuscular patterning very quickly. But bone, tendon, ligament, they take a long time, but also correcting imbalances between limbs, between front and back of muscles, to bringing up stabilizers, because most people are very good at using the prime joint movers rather than the small stabilizers that hold things in place for long periods. They all take a really long time. And that's also why, even if you think you can do the barbell, the drop set, the advanced methods, it might well be that your stabilizing systems or your left to right balance is not quite developed yet. And that's where our job is not to hold you back. Our job is to make sure you don't get injured. And I think that's part of you are a beginner. And the reason why you're doing this kind of work is to lay down a foundation so you can do future work better and avoid the risk of injury. So that's why we have these classifications. We can make up whatever name we want. We can call them level 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, whatever you want, but it really is your beginner, intermediate, advanced. Now, to answer your second question, what do we really want you doing by the end of a year's training? Well, they're the primary patterns. And the primary patterns in the lower body would be a squat pattern, bending at the ankle, knee, and hip while stabilizing the trunk. And it would be hip hinging like deadlifting. That could be Romanians, conventional deadlift, kettlebell swings, good mornings, to know how to move at the hip alone while stabilizing at the spine and stabilizing at the ankle and the knee. Now, in the lower body, that's what we'd want you to do with a barbell. In the upper body, it's very simple push-pull patterns, both in a horizontal plane, but also a vertical plane. And you might think that's a whole lot easier, but we're not just looking at push-pull patterns. We're looking at the coordination of the joints that create that movement. We're looking at how the shoulder blades, the scapula, either protracts and retracts when you're pushing and pulling horizontally, or how they upwardly and downwardly rotate so that your arm can stay properly allotted into the arm socket rather than popping out.